When I first started earning frequent flyer points, I didn't know it at the time, but the first redemption I ever made was a huge mistake. And if you're new to points, there's probably a good chance that you're also following the same mistakes that I did when I first started out. The very first redemption that I ever made was a story that's pretty common. It's probably similar to the way that you started as well. I saw a viral video on social media promising me that I could travel in business class if I just had some points. So I set out and I applied for my first credit card and I got the sign-up bonus of 100,000 points. From here, after my points arrived, I was so excited I jumped onto the Qantas website hoping to book a business class trip using the points as I had seen in those videos. But like many of you have probably found out, if you jump onto the Qantas website and you try and find lie-flat business class seats, they're very, very difficult to find and almost impossible to find a return trip that works out perfectly for the dates that you want. So when I was frustrated that I couldn't find any business class reward seats, I ended up settling for an economy ticket from Brisbane to Bali. Now that flight was on a Jetstar flight, and I didn't know it at the time, but that is one of the worst value redemptions you can possibly make using frequent flyer points. See, when you use points on a low-cost carrier such as Jetstar run frequent promos and sale offers on flights to Bali, which means I was essentially redeeming one of my points for about 2 cents worth of value. To put that into perspective, I always recommend that you try and redeem your points between 6 and 10 cents worth of value for each point. If you can earn your points at 2 cents per point and redeem them at 6 to 10 cents per point, it would actually make sense. So for me to go and spend my points at a redemption value of 2 cents per point, it was an absolute rookie mistake. Now that's not to say that you should never use your points on a carrier like Jetstar. In fact, I have recently just used my points going to Bali again. But the difference this time is I have an abundance of points. I have points that I can spare and I'm accumulating these points very, very cheaply. So it doesn't really matter because even if I did want to go somewhere overseas in a lie-flat business class seat, I've got the points to do so, and I've also got the points spare that I can use if I don't want to pay cash and I want to redeem them at 2 cents per point. But if you aren't in a position where you have an abundance of points, then a general rule of thumb would be to try to redeem them between 6 to 10 cents worth of value for each point. Now, some flights that you should look out for that are going to give you that type of redemption value are business or first class, long-haul international flights on Qantas or one of those premium carriers. Other premium carriers would be something like Emirates or Cathay Pacific. So taking all of that into consideration, what are some of the lessons that you can take from this so you don't do the same mistake that I did when I first started out? The first thing that you can do is, in order to increase the probability of us actually being able to use our points on the flights that we're after, I would recommend earning membership points that you can transfer to a lot of different airlines as opposed to exclusively earning Qantas points. The main issue I had is I jumped on the Qantas website and there were no business class lie-flat seats that I could find, which forced me to settle for something else. But if I had membership points that I could transfer to Velocity or Qantas or Emirates or Qatar or something like that, then maybe I wouldn't have had to redeem them for an economy Jetstar flight. The way that I personally do that is by earning Amex Platinum membership points because it gives me the ability to transfer those points to 12 different airlines. The second thing that you can do that I didn't know about at the time was using a website called seats.aero. You see, when I first started out, my approach to finding these reward seats would be to jump on the Qantas website, use the classic search tool and individually go into dates and individually go into routes and just basically hope that there would be reward seats. Since then, I've found a much better approach is actually using seats.aero. From here, I can search the entire Qantas website and I can even filter it through what flights have business class availability. If you want me to make a full video sharing how I use seats.aero, just let me know. The third thing that I would do is get creative. So when I was first looking for a lie-flat seat, I think I was looking for the USA, and I would just search Brisbane to Los Angeles, and then if there were no flights there, I basically gave up. What you can do now is you can change the arrival city and also the departing city. So instead of just Brisbane to Los Angeles, I could have checked Melbourne, Sydney, and Brisbane, flying into Los Angeles, San Francisco, or Dallas, and that's going to really help open up that availability and increase our chances at finding a flight. If you need more help with this sort of stuff, be sure to follow me on Instagram. I post daily on there. If you enjoyed this type of video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe so I know that these sort of videos are helping you. And if you have any more recommendations on what you'd like me to talk about in the future, please let me know.